guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, this is actually part 1 of my 2-part spring series. Like I mentioned in my last video, part 1 is going to be a very wearable spring, like everyday look. I mean, this is a little extra, but it's still like wearable. Like you can go to the grocery store and stuff looking like this or whatever. But basically, I did a lemony eye, like a lemon themed eye, and I incorporated faux freckles. And I do show you how to do faux freckles in this video, so if you'd like to see how I got this look and if you'd like to recreate it, then please keep on watching. I started by taking the yellow shade from my 35B palette and placed that all along my crease, bringing it all the way down to my inner corner. Then using the same brush, I picked up the shade Creamsicle from the Jaclyn Hill palette and went right below the yellow shade, once again bringing it all the way down the inner corner. Using a flat shader brush, I took my Tarte Shape Tape and cut my crease the whole way to give the eye more definition. Then I took Tempera on a flat shader and placed that on the lid to set the concealer in place. For the lower lash line, I took the same yellow from the 35B and the Creamsicle shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette and smudged that on my lower lash line, bringing it all the way to the inner corner. Using the shade Creamsicle and a smudger brush, I defined the crease a little more since we lost some of the color after cutting the crease. Using my black liner, I drew a very thin line on my upper lash line. Using my Tarte lash paint, I prepped my lashes for falsies, and the falsies I used were the Ardell Demi Pixies. For my face, I used my Hangover Primer by Too Faced, which is my ultimate favorite, and I used my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. For contour, I took my Wet n Wild stick in the shade Call Me Maple, and I just used my Beauty Blender to blend it out. For foundation, I'm using my Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 120, and I set my under eyes using the Makeup Revolution Lace Baking Powder. For my highlight, I used the Anastasia Liquid Glow in the shade Perla, and for bronzer, I used the Rimmel London bronzer in the shade Sundance. For my blush, I used the L'Oreal True Match in the shade N34, and then I used my M-Resi highlight over the Liquid Glow highlighter. To create my faux freckles, I used my Brow Gal eyebrow pencil, and I just began by dotting it along my nose and my cheeks, and I brought it up to my forehead because if you have freckles, it's usually not just in one spot, it's all over the place, so that's what I did. And then I blended it out using my Beauty Blender, and I repeated these steps until I had enough freckles, or the amount of freckles that I wanted to have. Also, a quick tip is not to be precise, just kind of dot them around like all over the place, and use your Beauty Blender to soften it but not completely blend out the freckles. To complete the look, I used my Wet n Wild lip liner and my Tarte lip paint and my Sephora setting spray to set the face. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.